It's summertime and we are shopping at Costco. I'm going to show you low-calorie, high-protein grilling options. My name is Jacob Zemer and I've helped thousands of people get in the best shape of their life. People with careers, families, real people who wanted real results. I've been an online coach for 5 years and I've been a trainer in the Westchester area for the past 10 years. Today, Costco, Portchester, and we're going shopping because a lot of people, they tend to gain weight between July and Labor Day. And the reason for it, grilling, barbecues, drinking, parties, the whole 9 yards. So I'm gonna show you how you can get in better shape, or at the very least, maintain your shape during summertime. I myself, I have lost 23 pounds since Memorial Day, and my goal is to lose 34 pounds in total and get absolutely shredded. I have a 4-month-old son, Nathaniel. I have a wife who works in finance. I have a business helping people lose weight. So I'm constantly busy, constantly running around. Sometimes I honestly feel like I'm getting my ass kicked. But today, I'm gonna show you how you can stay in shape regardless what you've got going on in your life. Let's go shopping. When talking about grilling, of course, we are going to start with steaks. Now, here at Costco, most of these do not have a nutrition label on the back. So it's very important that you understand buzzword when looking for lean cuts of steak. Things like top sirloin, words like tenderloin, these are usually indicative of very lean cuts of meat. The other thing you could do is use the eyeball test. Something like this ribeye, clearly there's a lot of marbling here, clearly there's a lot of fat. When you compare it to something like the beef top sirloin. Now, again, look for things like loin. Loin top sirloin is going to be very lean, but also again, just using the eyeball test, clearly this is leaner than this. Walking over here, we've got tenderloin. We have choice peeled extreme. Compare this to the other tenderloin, just the eyeball test alone, you can tell that this is leaner. Coming over here, filet mignon. It's loin, tenderloin, steak, filet mignon. This is very lean again. We're looking for those buzzwords because we don't have any nutrition label to guide us. In general, when we're looking at protein sources, we want things that pass the test. That means per 10 grams of protein, it should have 100 calories or less. So if a food was to say have 20 grams of protein, we would add a 0 to it. Does it have 200 calories or less? Then it passes our protein test. But when dealing with these steaks, there are no nutrition labels on the back, so we need to know our buzz terms. Over here, another very lean cut of meat. We've got loin, flap, meat steak. And something like this, it's gonna be a little rougher than the other pieces we looked at, but it would be perfect for like a high fiber wrap steak burrito or a steak taco. It would be great to put in something like a stir fry. This is another really lean option that they have here at Costco. Besides steak, Costco has a tremendous amount of pork options, and I wanna highlight that test again. We've got pork tenderloin, which is going to be a leaner part of the pig. And then we're going to look at the protein test again. On this pork tenderloin, it has 23 grams of protein. Now we're going to add a 0 to that. That's 230. Does it have 230 calories or less? In fact, this pork tenderloin does. It has 120 calories. This passes our protein test. So this is another great option that's going to help you keep your calories down while hitting your protein goal during the summertime. Whether it's steak, whether it's pork or poultry, it's very easy to meal prep during the summer. Using the grill, you just make any meal you're having for dinner in bulk. Oftentimes when people think about meal prep, they think about Sunday, spending hours cooking up all your meals. I would suggest instead, if you're going to have for dinner on Monday chicken, when you cook it in bulk. Buy something like this family pack, cook up half of it all at once, use what you're going to use for dinner, and put the rest in containers, and then you're meal prepped with chicken for the entire rest of the week. We've been having these chicken sandwiches for dinner on a regular basis. I'll take a chicken breast, I'll take a high fiber bun, I'll use some buffalo sauce, and then I'll put some pickles on it. It's absolutely delicious. And I'll do something with like a side of fries or some potatoes, have some asparagus or broccoli on the side. Dinner is served. Here at Costco, we've got the chicken breast, 24 grams of protein, 110 calories, awesome option. We've also got chicken thighs, 130 calories, 22 grams of protein. Both of these pass our protein test, and both of these are priced right to cook in bulk. My name's Jacob Ziemer. I'm going to take 45 seconds to tell you about my coaching program. I've helped thousands of people with real lives lose real weight. You can go to jacobziemer.com to learn more. There are 4 major tenets of my coaching program. The first is that we give you macros. It's calories, protein, and fiber. That's all we're concerned about, along with custom meal templates. We also are going to build you a custom program on my app. My app includes over 1,000 videos. So regardless what space you have or what goals you have, my app can help you train better. We also are going to create a cardiovascular program for you on the app as well, along with step goals. And fourth, you're going to go see your doctor, you're going to get your labs done, and we're going to walk you through the proper preventative health based on your family history. This is my coaching program that's helped thousands of people get in the best shape of their life. Okay, there's been a rumor going around that you can no longer go up to the counter and get the 90-10 ground beef at Costco, and that may be true because I just asked and it went nowhere. Traditionally, you can walk up to the butchery, you can go to ask somebody from behind the counter and ask for a log of 90-10 ground beef at a crazy price. We've done this in the past and I'll show you a clip of it from the past. What they do have right here on shelves is 8812 ground beef, and this does pass our protein test. It is 210 calories, 22 grams of protein. The problem with this is it's not a lean source of protein. It has 13 grams of fat, 5 grams of saturated fat. So typically when we consider something a lean protein, it has 4 grams or less of saturated fat. So again, passes our protein test, but not technically a lean source of protein. We're gonna go over and look at seafood now and check out some options that are definitely lean sources of protein and all pass our protein test, while also being incredibly high in omega-3s. Let me know in the comments if you can still get the 90-10 ground beef log at your location. Tons of shrimp here. Unfortunately, all of it is farm raised, and that's a legitimate concern when choosing seafood. Farm raised is always going to contain way more metallics. I love seafood. Seafood is very high in omega-3, so it pains me to say you should really be having a pound or less of total seafood a week because of the metallics, because of the microplastics. You should still incorporate it in your diet because it's incredibly rich in omega-3s, but again, the metallics and the microplastics are really, really problematic when it comes to seafood. Looking at the salmon, they have wild-caught sockeye here. When buying seafood, you want to opt for wild-caught. It's simply going to have way less metallics. All of the other salmon here at this time, it is farm-raised, and none of it farm-raised Norwegian. So we go with the sockeye. What I like to do with salmon on the grill is I'll put it on a cedar plank and then put the cedar plank on the grill itself. Makes for a really, really awesome flavor and really cooks the salmon very well. 2 other fishes here that are wild-caught and very high in omega-3s. We have the Chilean sea bass and we have the ahi tuna. With the sea bass, there is skin on it. So I would put it down first, skin first, after coating it with some spray like this avocado oil that they have here at Costco. Spray the grill, put down skin first, then flip it to the other side. With the ahi tuna, you are really going to risk it sticking to the grill. So just be very mindful. You're really going to want to have the grill cleaned, and you're really going to want to coat some of that avocado oil on it before you cook something like this ahi tuna. Looking at one other fish here at Costco, very high in omega-3s, we have branzino. This is going to take some work. You're going to cut off the head, cut off the tail, you're going to fillet it, take out the spine, and then you're going to flip it on the grill, skin first, and then flip around and cook the other side. But this is really delicious and really rich in omega-3s. We're going to talk about fruit and vegetables for a minute, and particularly for summertime. So I had to go into the cooling section in order to get the vegetables, and it's just too loud in there to shoot. So I'm going to show you broccoli, asparagus, and green beans. And if you've been following me for a while, you know I talk all the time about incorporating fiber into our diet because it helps with blood pressure, it helps with cholesterol, it helps with blood sugar, and it also helps reduce the risk of colon cancer, rectal cancer, pancreatic cancer, because it helps with a healthy gut microbiome. So fiber is incredibly important in your diet, especially when we're having all of this animal protein. And these are all rich in fiber, all 3 of these vegetables. The other reason that I highlight these vegetables is because you can put them in like a little container of tin foil, put it on the grill, and they cook effortlessly while you're cooking your protein. Incredibly convenient for meal prep. Again, very easy to cook these vegetables in bulk. And again, I highlighted these vegetables in particular because they're high in fiber. You should be incorporating all sorts of vegetables in your diet, but these in particular are really high in fiber. Looking at fruit, I always talk about berries. I always talk about apples. I always talk about avocado. But for summertime, I like to talk about watermelon and strawberry because these are the ultimate high volume food. They have so little calories. And after you're finished having your cookout or your grill and you're done with dinner, you can have some strawberries or some watermelon. And it's just really going to help you be more full so you're not tempted to have dessert. These are going to really make dieting very sustainable, and I take advantage of them during the summertime. And I just spoke about it, but avocado or guacamole, very rich in fiber, but it's also rich in something known as monounsaturated fat. When you talk about animal protein, you want to be selecting lean choices. We want to reduce, not eliminate, saturated fat in our diet. And if you're eating a lot of animal protein throughout your diet, you're going to get plenty of saturated fat. But we want to highlight monounsaturated fat because it's so important for heart disease and also for cognitive health. So I love to incorporate avocado or guacamole in my diet, and they have these individual packs which really helps you portion them out correctly. So I would take something like these individual packs of avocado or guacamole and spread it over my chicken sandwich or put it on the side with my steak. A couple other vegetables to highlight probiotic health. We have sauerkraut and we have kimchi. These go awesome on the side with your animal protein. And what's grilling without burgers? So we're here at the bread section at Costco, and I've got to be honest, I'm underwhelmed. We have whole grain Pepperidge Farm bread, which is 120 calories. It has 3 grams of fiber. It has 5 grams of protein. And then we have Dave's Killer Bread. This is 110 calories. It has 6 grams of protein and 4 grams of fiber. But these are simply bread options. There are no high fiber bun options here. So I'm going to put up on the screen a plethora of options for buns that you can buy that are high fiber. I would not recommend buying your buns for grilling here at Costco. And even the bread, they're good, but they're not great. There's better options on the market. Where I wasn't impressed with the bread, the chip selection here is extensive, even when it comes to macro-friendly chip options. My first and foremost choice would be Quest protein chips. This particular store does not carry them, but most of them do. They are high in protein, they pass our protein test, and they are also delicious. What this store does have is pure protein. They have both crisps and crackers. However, these do not pass our protein test. There are actually better options, like these protein pretzels by Crisp Power. These are 110 calories, they are 16 grams of protein, and they also have 6 grams of fiber. It has both protein and fiber and tastes very much like that salty, savory taste that you would look for when you eat pretzels. I will say they don't taste quite like pretzels, but they really do fulfill that pretzel craving, if that makes sense. And also, we've got Harvest Snaps. 130 calories, 4 grams of fiber, 5 grams of protein. My wife loves these things. And if my wife loves something, it means that non-meatheads will actually enjoy the taste of it. That's 4 better macro chip alternatives here at Costco. Perfect way to conclude summertime shopping at Costco is, of course, dessert. Here at Costco, we have 2 options. We have the Smart Choice Organic Fudge Bars, 100 calories, 3 grams of protein. They taste just like fudge bars. They use skim milk as opposed to whole milk to make these fudge bars. And they also carry Yasso Bars Mint Chocolate Chip, which are 100 calories, 5 grams of protein, and taste absolutely delicious. And that concludes our shopping here at Costco today. We put out long format content each and every single week on this YouTube. At the grocery store, product reviews, weight training, talking to people in the medical profession, things that will offer real people real results in their health and fitness. We also put out short format content on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube daily. So if you like what you saw, please hit subscribe. I've helped thousands of people get in the best shape of their life, and I hope today is going to help you in your health and fitness journey.